Hello, it's Nikki. I'm recording this on Friday, the 27th of September, and it will be with you very shortly. So, I just wanted to start by saying the thoughts that I'm having today are very fresh. They're in my head, and I wanted to share with them with you because I thought they might be useful or they might spark a few things. So, it's the end of the month. We're about to embark on the final quarter of the year and a new month, and there feels like there's a pressure in the air to do all of the things. And I know that pressure myself. Sometimes I fall into that trap of like, oh my goodness, I've got to get this done right now. I had that in my pregnancy. I've got to write my book proposal before I have this baby. I didn't. This is the thing. You don't have to do all the things before the end of the month or before the end of the year. Sometimes things take a little longer to hatch or to ruminate or to just marinate in your head and for you to enjoy the process. So even though people are going to be doing this, I can't believe it. Oh my goodness, it's October already. Nobody panic. It's the end of the year, and next year it's a new dedication, a new decade. Hold your horses, kids. It's all going to be fine. And do you know what? This happens all the time. January the 1st, I spoke about it at Stylist Live last year. January the 1st rolls round and we have all these expectations and big things that we're going to do. But January the 1st is just another day. And so take that pressure off and go at your own pace. Equally, don't go the other way and put all the pressure on 2020. It's going to be your dream year where everything changes. I feel like there's sometimes in society that once we have our ducks in a row, we feel like then we're going to have the solution. So I remember being in my 20s and feeling like once I've met my dream partner, everything will be fine and I will have body confidence, I'll have great self-esteem, I'll have direction in my life, I'll do this and this. And I was putting all of these kind of ducks in a row in terms of myself. And the thing was, when I just met Matt, he just sort of liked me for me, and we had a really nice time going to the pub. And so take that pressure off yourself and take that pressure off the thing. Likewise, we can do that thing of once we get 10,000 followers on Instagram, or once we have a certain amount of money in our bank account, everything will be fine. Or once we lose that half a stone pesky thing. I got caught in this thing the other day because I've got some speaking gigs coming up and Luna is only 7 and a bit weeks, and clearly my body is not where I want it to be, and it takes a little while to get strong, to recover, to do all of these things. And again, I'm not here to talk about weight gain or weight loss or anything like that, but I really had to check myself before I wrecked myself. So I want to give you this little nudge that if you are subliminally just putting things to the side and almost shuffling them away, putting them in a cupboard till 2020, please stop and consider, is this the right thing to do? Are you procrastinating and waiting for that perfect time? And if you are, check in and ask yourself why, because there will be stuff going on underneath that. Now, that's not to say that there isn't a better time, because sometimes that is the case. Again, going back to my pregnancy, I was pregnant for most of 2019. So I was pregnant from November 2018 and I had my baby August 2019. So there were some things that I was like, okay, I'm going to take running a marathon off the list because that just doesn't make sense anymore to be doing the London Marathon and being 6 months pregnant or whatever the amount it was. So there are some things where there's a better time, but also there'll be some things where you're not tuning in with actually that is what you're supposed to be doing, and it's your responsibility to kind of rise up and show yourself and show people what you're made of. That sounds very pushy mother stage mum, show people what you're made of, but you know what I'm saying. The other thing I want to say is don't make yourself wrong for the progress that you have or you haven't made this year. So in my head, I might go, oh, but I haven't written that book, or I haven't got to whatever I wanted to do, or I thought I would be further on by now. The thing was, 2019 was my year of Luna, of growing her and birthing her. That is no mean feat, despite what people say in OK Magazine or Hello Magazine, like, yeah, I just like had a baby and popped it out and all the rest of it. No, this is a case of there are seasons of life. There is stuff that's going on. There may be for you where you're making a transition from your current business model to something else. That takes time. I had this conversation with a client the other day, and I was asking her to be really gentle with herself. She'd made so much progress, but sometimes we can feel like we should have done all of that yesterday. No, allow things to unfold as they should. Also, as well, there can be that pressure to look around and go, yeah, but that person's here, or that's happened, and what have I even done anyway? And we see this with plants, don't we? Or nature. There's a lot of stuff that goes on underground before we start to sprout. There's this plant actually that I've had in my house, and in our bedroom we have a fireplace it's a sort of, our house was in 1910 or something like that, so there's a lot of original features, to throw that out there. And this plant used to be on the mantelpiece above our fireplace in our room, and it was growing slowly but surely, but I was like, oh, okay, so I've watered it. Have I watered it too much? Have I done it right? And of course I went into that mindset thing. It shows up everywhere, right? And one day I suddenly thought, right, I'm just going to move it into the kitchen and see what happens. Well, the next day it lost its mind in the kitchen. It was like, I'm free, I can do this, oh, I'm going to sprout, and look at this, a bit of my leaf, it's coming out here. This plant had a proper I've arrived type moment, which was lovely to see. I was like, go on, plant, there you go, you can do it. But again, it was just a reminder. Sometimes you've got to mix up that environment. So this is my invitation to you. If you've been doing the same things again and again, or showing up in the same circle, please just shake it up, do something different, challenge yourself. You don't have to do the big jumps out of the comfort zone. Sometimes you can just tiptoe out, and that's all good as well. Also, my final point in this is, and I've spoken about this a lot, because for me, I really have to protect my energy in terms of what I'm doing and what I allow in. And this has different forms of people, because I guess I'm open and conversational and engaging, hopefully, and I'm real and honest and grounded and can chat to anybody. I have to be careful sometimes that I still have those boundaries and those expectations of, and manage those expectations, I guess, of what's acceptable and what isn't. Because one of the things, whenever I have, and I'm sure you'll have your own words as well, whenever I'm tagged on social media, I'm known as the lovely Nikki Raby, or Nikki's so lovely. Lovely seems to be one of those words that comes up again and again. And don't get me wrong, if you're suddenly listening, you're like, oh, I thought she was lovely, and now she's going to say that she's a mega bitch. I'm really not. I am lovely, and lovely is a big part of my personality. However, I am other things as well. I'm fiercely loyal. I'm protective of my family. I'm determined. I don't really take bullshit. And I don't necessarily do that in a, I'm going to call you out and shame people or anything like that. But for example, if I have conversations with my brother about business, I'll throw him a curveball question sometimes and challenge him, not in an unkind way, but in a, I want the best for you, and I know there's more to this than maybe you're letting yourself on or letting you believe. So there are different layers of that. And the thing is, I've realised is that everybody does have an opinion, but also it's not your responsibility to convince people. And the fact that you're listening to this, and the fact that you're really taking care of your business and wanting to grow and wanting to thrive. And I'm sure you've had so many setbacks and so many rejections. That sounds dramatic, doesn't it? But times where you've questioned things, or you've wobbled, or you thought about giving up, or you've slid down the side of a wall like Pat Butcher with less earrings. You will have had all of those things along the way. And one thing that I've found, especially having Luna, bizarrely, she is a sleeper. And I'm so sorry if this is triggering to anybody else who is at home with kids who don't sleep. I have a nearly 4-year-old who has not been the easiest sleeper. So please believe me when I say I'm helpless without you. No, please believe me when I say I know exactly what you're going through, and it's really tough. And there's nothing that you've done right or wrong. Kerry Secker from Care It Out is a fantastic sleep coach, by the way. She offers loads of really great insight on how to support your child's sleep journey. But one thing I wanted to say is I was fully prepared after having my baby to feel like utter shit, to be completely broken, to go down a spiral of I'm not good enough, I can't do this, I can't even make a sandwich, oh my goodness, there's washing up everywhere, I couldn't make decisions, because I felt all of these feelings when I had my son. I felt like I'd been hit by a truck, which I'd said before. However, it's been the opposite. Actually, towards the end of my pregnancy, I was really anxious. I wanted this baby to come and be well and healthy so badly. I wanted my recovery to be well. I wanted to get back to my family and to my 3-year-old, and for all to be okay. And so the fact that she's here now and well and happy and content and actually sleeps, and bizarrely I'm getting more sleep now than I did when I was pregnant, which again has completely shocked me. I am able to do things which are not necessarily the norm. So I am working, I am seeing clients, I am resting when I need to, though. I am getting out and about because I feel like I'm able to do that. And don't get me wrong, there have been some unsolicited, should we say, comments in my direct messages or emails, or people saying, "Are you doing too much?" And believe me, I'm very in touch with what I can and I can't do, and I'm the first person to put the brakes on because I have really good boundaries for myself and for my business. So I'm very in touch with what my capabilities are. But there will be some things that you will do in your business that will trigger people. People will think, well, how's she doing that? Or that's moving too quickly. Or why is she spending money on that course? Or, oh, look at her, she's done a video. Oh my goodness, fancy putting yourself out there. I could never do that. People will be watching you. People will be noticing what you're doing, whether you like it or not, whether they comment or not. I know there are so many people that I went to school with who watch my Instagram stories on the daily. Like, they're there all the time. I haven't seen these people for 20 years. Do they ever reach out and say, I really like what you do? Or do they actually engage? No, they don't. Are they probably talking about me behind my back and going, oh my goodness, have you seen Nikki Raby? She's always doing this, this and this. That's absolutely fine, because there's no engagement in that way. They're not saying it directly to me. So what people's opinion of me is sort of none of my business. And it's the same for you as well. You're not like everybody else. You're not necessarily the norm. I know you have big dreams. I know you want to do things in a different way. Otherwise, you wouldn't take your self-development, your business development seriously. You wouldn't be listening to this. You wouldn't be reading books. You wouldn't be listening to other podcasts. You wouldn't be trying to improve yourself. I only really discovered self-development as an actual thing in 2011. So I dabbled a little bit, but I didn't know that that's what it was called. Think about all the people in the world who do not work on themselves, who do not develop, who do not have self-awareness or a need to get better. We see them all the time. We see them out and about in the world, and they'll even say it, well, this is the way that I've always done it, so this is the way that I'm going to continue. I want to say that you are brilliant, and you're not like everybody else. And so don't play by the rules that everybody else is doing. You are meant for big things, my friend. I'm going to leave it there. I hope you have a lovely weekend, whatever you're doing. If you're listening at a later date, hello, hello, hello. And hopefully, this has come at a time where it really resonates with you as well. Passive income starts next week. If you're again listening to this at a later date, check the website. And I am ready. I'm ready for this next chapter, kids. I hope that you are as well. And if you ever slip into that overwhelm, see if you can stop yourself. See if you can stop and change that overwhelm into excitement, into a positive thing. Isn't it fantastic? I've got so much momentum at the moment. Isn't it fantastic that I have all these lovely pieces of the pie for my business? Make it exciting. Don't make it overwhelming, and don't overcomplicate things. I'm going to leave it there. Have a smashing weekend. Check the description box below for more details, and I'll see you very soon. Also, if you haven't booked a free 15-minute session with me and you've been sitting on the fence of like, oh yeah, I have been meaning to do that, or maybe I'm not ready, you are ready. Book it down below. I'm taking new clients next month. Come on in and join the party. I'll see you soon.